All right, so welcome to Team Forever Strong's weekly call. Today is December 1st, guys. This is a brand new month, So this is the last month of 2016. Brand new month, a chance for you guys to really end the year strong, really commit to your business, commit to a health and fitness program, commit to being consistent with all those areas so that you can end 2016 strong and kick 2017 off in an even better way. So this is a tough time of year, guys. This is the hardest month of the year. What you choose to do this month is going to affect the first 3 months of 2017 and what happens in your business for 2017. And I can tell you right now, just from experience of seeing how this business cycles through the different seasons, that the coaches who choose to show up in this business and put their business first and still do it, even when it's hard, and make no excuses for themselves, those are the coaches that will be way ahead of the game come 2017. So don't wait. I'm telling you, do not wait until January to get back at it, whether it's for your health and fitness or in terms of building your business. Start now with a fresh, clean month. Also, too, guys, this is something that I want you to know about. This is the month where you will want to make helping 5 people and hitting Success Club 10 your goal. Because since this is the hardest month of the year, and since so many coaches in the network choose to kind of coast until the end of the year, what happens is if you choose not to coast and you choose to make it a goal to help those 5 people and hit Success Club 10, those very limited amount of coaches in the network who hit it get that many more free Success Club leads in January. They will get divided amongst the coaches in the network who hit Success Club 10 this month. And last year, guys, my free commissions just from getting those leads was about $400 in January. That's what I received for hitting Success Club 10 in December. And then a lot of those people, it was reoccurring orders, which you then collect the commission on. So I know that there's a lot of people on here who they want to see that income. They want to see it fast. This is a really good way, guys, to take advantage of that and to see that happen. So write it down on your notebook, on your calendar, that you're going to shoot to help 5 people this month to hit Success Club 10 so you can take advantage of those free leads come January. Also, our team Christmas party is this Saturday night. So if you are in the area, just make sure to go to the group. Let me know if you're going to be there. There's a sign-up sheet too to check off whatever you'd like to bring. Make sure to let us know. And we will be going live in the team page too. For those of you who live out of state, we definitely want to include you guys all. I wish that we could all be together again, but that will have to be for our Diamond Retreat, guys. I wanted to bring it up one more time here, but I am in the process of planning our 2nd annual Team Forever Strong Diamond Retreat, most likely in February. In order to receive an invitation to attend with us, you need to finish 2016 as a paid Diamond coach. This is for the entire downline, so if you have a big team of your own too as well, make sure that you pass the word along to your coaches because it's definitely something that you want to get to so that we can build our businesses and take it to the next level together. So we have that as a really good motivator, guys, to make sure you stay in the game right up until the last minute. The way I see it, guys, is, you know what? We've worked so hard, right? So hard all year long, right? We've put in the time, we've put in the hours, we've put in the work, we've been here on the calls, we've done all that. We don't want to trip at the finish line. We are at the finish line. We have, 30 more days left in this year. It's not a time to just give up and stop. Now is the time where you should be digging deep and pushing even harder to set yourself up for a better success come 2017. All right. Let's see if I got everything here. All right. I covered all of my to-do list things. Before I introduce you to our guest speaker, does anybody have any rank advancements that you would like to shout out this week? If you do, you can unmute yourself, comment below.
Hey everybody, it's Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi. So Bill is not on the call tonight, but I just wanted to shout out that he is an emerald. So I'm really proud of him. He was working hard yesterday to get his second person. So yay,
That's so
go Bill.
exciting. Great job, Bill. Congratulations. That's exciting. Just the beginning for you. All right. So I wanted to introduce you to Kelsey Smith, which you guys probably know her as Kelsey Pape. She just got married this summer, right, Kelsey? And so she is a newlywed. And guys, I asked her to speak on this team call tonight because when I think about all the different coaches and leaders in this network, Kelsey comes to mind because she is someone who lets nothing stop her. She does not let excuses get in the way. She talks the talk and she walks the walk. When she has a vision and she has something that she wants to achieve, she pushes and she goes for it. Doesn't matter how many obstacles stand in her way. She is so driven. Like she is, if we could just all have our own teams of all Kelseys, right? It would be one heck of a kick butt team. But she is just, I look up to her. She's an amazing coach. And let me just give you a little bit of a background about her. She is a retired reporter. Pretty cool. So if you see her behind the camera there, she's a natural, obviously. So she's a retired reporter. When did you retire from that, Kelsey?
January 8th of this year.
January 8th. That's so exciting. That's amazing. So she does Beachbody coaching now. She does this business now. It's her full-time gig. She is officially a 2-star diamond, but currently right now she is a 5-star elite qualifying coach. She started out the year, guys. All of you who are diamonds right now on the call here, guys, this is pretty unbelievable. Okay, I've actually never really heard of anything like this, but she started out the year as a diamond coach. She's going to end the year, her and her team, as an elite team. So for those of you who have big goals and you see where you are right now, and if it's your goal to end this year as diamond coaches, in 1 year from now, you guys could be in the exact same scenario that Kelsey is in. It's very, very impressive. It's awesome. It's so exciting. Can't wait to celebrate at the end of this. It's a push, but we got this. She is also a 2-star diamond in her spouse account, which she runs. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star, which means that she has helped 5 people and hit Success Club 10 for 12 consecutive months. She's never missed one. She and her team are currently ranked number 162 in the entire company out of 460,000 teams, more than 460,000 teams at this point now. And she's going to spend tonight, guys, telling her story and talking to you guys exactly how she has been able to make this big push like this. How the heck was she able to start the year 2016 as a diamond coach, and now she's ending the year as a 5-star elite team? So I'm really excited to have her here, guys. Hopefully you have your notebooks. You're going to learn a lot. And Kelsey, thank you so much for being here. We can't wait to hear you.
Thank you. Oh, man. Every single time somebody introduces me like that, I kind of just sit there and I'm like, who are they talking about? Because like you never think about yourself to ever be in a situation where somebody that you've looked up to tells their team that they look up to you. And when that time comes, like, it's like the weirdest thing in the entire world. So thank you for that. That honestly means so much to me. I mean, your friendship obviously means so much to me. I know a lot of you on here. I know a lot of you, at least through your names through social media or through Kathy shouting you guys out or something. But I know I was going through and looking at everybody's names. I was like, I know a lot of these names, which is so cool to me because we probably have not met in person, but I know who you are. Creepy. But I do want to preface this call by saying, one, I'm really loud. I'm really animated. I'm really fired up at all times. I get severe passion sweats and I curse a lot. So I hope that none of that offends you because I get so fired up. I love this business so much. I love what it's done for my life. And whenever I think about what my team has accomplished this year, it like puts me on another level because, again, like Kathy said, I didn't start this year too hot. And I'm going to explain that in my story. It's a big part of who I am and where I'm at today. So I do want to start off by just kind of giving you a little background on who I am, because I honestly feel like my story is like what you guys probably need to hear, because a lot of you might be where I was. A lot of you might be dealing with some of the things that I was, and or that I still sometimes go through. But I do want to also say, before I dive right into this, is Kathy is right. This time is a hard time of year. It's a time where everybody right now has taken a step back. A majority of our network has taken a step back. And I was that coach in 2014. I was that coach that took a step back and said, oh, this is just a hard time of year. No one's coming to me. This is a season of push, and this company operates in seasons of push. So there'll be a time where you need to operate at a 6 and a time where you need to operate at a 10. This is a time of year where you need to operate at a 10. And you guys need to go balls to the wall over the next couple of weeks, because if you guys can, the moment January 1st comes down, you can go back to your 6 and everything's going to be good. And everybody else is going to be operating at a 10 because they couldn't keep up with you. So that is my advice on that. Go balls to the wall right now. If you guys go into this month thinking it's going to be hard, it will be very, very hard for you. So go into this month with a positive attitude and be ready to kick some serious butt, because you guys are capable of anything, no matter what the calendar says. So who am I? Who is this crazy girl talking to you? All right. I'm Kelsey Smith, formerly Kelsey Pape. So if some of you were following me before, that's how you probably know who I am. But I was a reporter. My story starts back very long ago. I was a reporter. I graduated from West Virginia University in 2012 or end of 2011. Got this gig as a reporter in 2012. And guys, it's all I ever wanted to do with my life. People were always so envious of me because I always knew what I wanted to do, and I was always going to go for it. Like, I never let anything hold me back, which kind of pays off in my benefit now. But at the time, I was the same way. And I graduated, and I've always wanted to be a sports reporter, because guess what? News is extremely depressing. And I'm sure if you guys go and click on your evening newscast right now, you're probably going to be flooded with a ton of things you don't want to read, all the negative stuff going on in the world. And the cool thing about the news, and when you're at home, is you can turn it off. But when you're a reporter, it's with you every single day, all day long. So I was trying to avoid news like the plague. I was trying to get into sports because at least there was some positivity around that, celebration and happiness. And I knew that, and I'm like, I love being on camera. I love talking. I love sharing stories. And I knew that that was like my calling. Like, I was going to be the next Susie Colbert on the sidelines for ESPN. Like, that was my dream. And I remember I applied so many different places. I heard nothing back. And then finally I got an interview as a reporter. And I reached out to my mentor and I asked him, I said, hey, what should I do? Should I wait and see if I get a sports job, or should I take this? And his advice to me was to take what you can get. And if you really think about that is the shittiest advice that I've ever received in my entire life, because it honestly dictated what happened to me in the next 3 years by me taking what I can get instead of taking what I thought I deserved. And that was my mindset because of that for a very long time after that. So I took what I get, and I took that reporter job that I knew that I didn't want in the first place. And I started off making $21,000 a year. And to do the math for you really quickly, that's a little over $500 every 2 weeks. So I probably would have made more money working minimum wage somewhere. I lived in this 1-bedroom shithole, to say the least. It was not in a good part of town. I had to beg my landlord to put a deadlock bolt on our door. My roof leaked constantly. My neighbors upstairs were so loud. My water heater was broken. And I remember countless times having to drive to our local gym so that way I could take a shower, so that way it wouldn't be freezing cold. I was like going through weeks where I had to pick between my gas money and whether or not I was going to eat that week. I remember the day that I came home once and I had a $600 electric bill. And mind you guys, I just told you I lived in a 1-bedroom shithole. Like, how does that happen? $600. And I remember calling the electric company and like crying on the phone to them. And they were like, you did something. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And we fought back and forth. And I had to get put on a freaking payment plan to pay off my electric bill. And I remember at that point saying, well, I don't want it to go up again. So I turned it off. And I remember being in the middle of a West Virginia winter underneath 4 blankets, 2 things of sweatpants, all these hoodies on because I couldn't afford to turn my heat on. That's where I was in my life. And then my now husband, who's my boyfriend at the time, he moved from Kansas to West Virginia in my 2nd year of my contract. And that got me at least out of the shithole apartment. But everything else was not getting any better either. So I was missing holidays. As you guys know, you guys get to have a nice holiday with your family. The news doesn't stop on holidays, especially when you're a newer reporter. You're the one scheduled to work. Leaving him home alone all the time. Having to FaceTime my family on holidays because I couldn't get home. I had severe anxiety. For those of you that don't know my story, my best friend passed away in a car accident in 2009. And it was absolutely horrific. It completely scarred me, my relationship with God. It completely scarred my relationship with everybody for years. And having to go cover a car accident while I was a reporter was like reliving it every single time. So I had severe anxiety if I got sent to an accident. Like there was times where I'd have panic attacks while I was there. It was terrible. So here I am doing stuff like that, going to fires, getting forced into things I didn't want to do. And all of a sudden this depression that I was having was becoming magnified. And I was taking down Zach with me. Zach is my husband. So the way that I dealt with these hard times was stress eating and a lot of alcohol. I was 21 years old and I was drinking myself to sleep so that way I could actually sleep and not think about things. That was my one little moment of peace. So 21, 22, I'm drinking a lot of booze, and not the kind where like, oh, she's going out and partying because she's young. It was like I was using it as a coping mechanism. And the weirdest thing about this whole time in my life is that I was so weirdly obsessed with the gym. So if you guys ever see me talk about like how people like talk about how skinny people don't need to work out, oh my God, I'll go on a rant for an hour about that. I went to the gym all the time because I felt like, hey, if I'm going to eat like shit, if I'm going to fill my body with all the alcohol, then at least what I can do is I can go to the gym. So I went all the time, but guess what was happening? Nothing. Because we all should know this, that poor nutrition means that you're going to have shitty results. So before I know it, I'm 10 pounds heavier. Zach is 20 pounds heavier. We're both miserable. I don't talk to people. I don't leave my house. I'm like my own worst enemy at this point. It was so bad that I remember going to grocery stores and like seeing somebody I knew and like going to the other aisle so I wouldn't have to talk to them. Like I just was so antisocial. I just didn't want to be around other people. So you guys better believe when I'm scrolling through Facebook one day and I see a post by a girl talking about how a superfood shake and a workout program changed her life. And that point of my life, that shit pissed me off. You don't want to see other people loving life whenever yours absolutely sucks. Can anybody relate to that? Whenever you're looking at stuff and you're like, everything sucks for me, why is everything so great for her? And that girl is my now coach. She was somebody that was very consistent on social media, God bless her, because I kept seeing it and it kept driving me crazy. I never reached out at first, but what I did do as the crazy reporter who researches everything before she would reach out, I went on to teambeachbody.com. She was talking about T25, but I was instantly drawn to the 21-day fix. I said, hey, if I can do something for 3 weeks and I can get results from it, at least I know that I'm like doing something for myself. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, no, we haven't talked in a while. I went to college with her. I said, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, but what's this 21-day fix? And Natalie was a brand new coach at the time. My coach is Natalie Bailey, for those of you that might know her. She was a brand new coach at the time, and she sends me back a message. It's like this long. And it's like the 21-day fix is this, this, and this. You get all this in it. It's $140. You get a month of Shakeology. And I'm like, whoa. And I was like, oh, I'll talk to Zach about it. Never wrote her back. What I did is went on to teambeachbody.com again, bought the 21-day fix without Shakeology because I didn't want to spend $130 on a protein shake. Does anybody know that excuse, right? All right. So that was me. I was that person. I went through my first round of the 21-day fix with no coach, with no challenge group, zero support. I did it all on my own. And guys, I don't recommend that for anybody. Because I remember logging on to Facebook. I was like so excited because I finally had control over something in my life. Like I was loving this program. I was starting to share on social media and like, oh, everybody should try the 21-day fix. And if I had a question, I would still go to Natalie and ask her, despite the fact that I went behind her back and like didn't order through her. And she still answered every single question. And one day she posted this like transformation to somebody and she did the 21-day fix and she had better results than me. And I said, what the hell did I not do? Didn't drink Shakeology. So the next post comes up and she's doing a Shakeology giveaway. And me being the mooch broke girl I am, I'm like, hey, I want to try it. So she sends me a vanilla Shakeology packet. I respond back to her, finally, suck it up and say, okay, what's the Shakeology stuff? And that's where my coaching journey begins. Because she introduces me to the coaching opportunity. And I'm broke. I'm making no money. I needed to at least get it covered every month. And that was the way that I was going to do it. So I used a ton of excuses. I tried every way to get out of that. I didn't have the time. My life was crazy. I'm a reporter. I shouldn't be sharing this kind of stuff on social media. I used every little excuse I possibly can to get out of this coaching opportunity, and she wouldn't buy any of it. She told me, and the best advice I've ever received, and I still tell her to this day, is that she told me that no one wants a perfect coach. And no one wants this girl that has her life together. Everybody wants someone they can relate to. And I still stand by that today in my business. Because no one wants me to be perfect, and I'm not going to share the perfect or pretend I'm perfect, because no one wants that in their life. Because then they're going to be like who I was when they scroll through and they're like, oh, that girl, she has her shit together and I don't. Like, I don't want that. I want people to know that, like, I was there with them. So my contract ends in West Virginia. I take another reporting job in Tennessee. I'm moving farther and farther away from my dream as a sports reporter. And now Beachbody is starting to take this place of this dream that I didn't realize was possible. And I will tell you guys right off the bat, I was never somebody that dibble-dabbled in this business. I knew it was special from day one, and I said, how can I do this? I was watching all this amazing stuff that other coaches were doing, including mine. My coach was telling me, hey, you should hit Success Club every month, and it's going to give you the extra money you need. It's going to help your business grow. So I started hitting Success Club. I knew that I had the potential of making this a really big thing. And I knew that I had to trust Natalie to help me get there. And so if you're not using your upline, guys, like, that is a problem. Like, your upline knows what she's talking about. She's been there. The only difference between you and your upline is time, and take advantage of the time, because she's failed a lot more than you and she can help you. That's the best part about this. So here's the thing. All those accolades that Kathy mentioned at the beginning of this call, 5-star qualifying, 2-star here, 2-star here, all that stuff, that took time. Emerald, okay, that's easy. That's 2 people, right? Diamond, I didn't give a shit about Diamond at first. Did you guys come into this business to be Diamond coaches? No. Nobody even know what that was. We came into this business because we wanted something more for ourselves. So I didn't care about Diamond. Star Diamond, I did not believe that that was for me. That looked like something that was completely out of reach for me. So another year in the news business, more things happening that are terrible, knocking on the doors of people who lost their loved ones, getting embarrassed in the newsroom by my news director constantly. And I'll never forget this day where I had a 60-hour work week, and I got called in on a Saturday. It was after a week of winter weather coverage. And in Tennessee, if it snows even a tiny bit, life is over, okay? So I was working constantly that week. I got called in on that Saturday after a 60 to 70-hour work week. She calls me in. I never will forget this moment. This was everything changed for me. I sat on the edge of my bed and I cried hysterically, like ugly girl cried, sobbing. Looked at Zach and I said, Zach, I'm quitting this job by the end of this year. I can't do this anymore. I'm miserable. Every time I think things get better, I have one thing that makes me happy, and that's what I need to go for. So he says, okay, I'm going to do it. So we go to the end of the year, and guess what happens? December rolls around, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I called my coach. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do it. And my coach, I don't know if any of you know Natalie, gets on the phone with me, and she goes, you're going to quit that damn job. I am so sick of hearing you complain about it, blah, 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 blah. So we get off the phone, and I said a prayer. I'm very religious and into my faith. And I said, God, if you want me to quit this job, like, give me a sign, give me some peace in knowing I'm doing the right thing. And it was a couple days later, and I was getting married. So as all of you know, you have to go through this whole process with the church before you get married. And I finally got an opening, and I was planning from afar. I got married in Pittsburgh, and I knew I had to get up a day early. So I called my boss and I said, hey, I'm going to need Monday off. I'm sorry to do this to you. Meanwhile, I already had Tuesday through Friday off. And I said, I need to get this day off because I need to go home and meet with my priest. This is the only time we can do it. It's the week of Christmas. And she told me I needed to get my priorities straight, choosing between my family and Christmas and my job. So I walked my happy ass into her office 1 week later with my resignation, and I left that job on January 8th. And I left that job not looking where not where you would think I would be. I left that job making around $250 a week in Beachbody. That's nothing. That is nothing. That's something whenever you are working your way out. Whenever you're doing it full time, that is pennies. That's less than I was making at my first job. But here's what was the difference. My back was against the wall. So that long introduction was for a reason, because I want you guys to see something. What I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight is what changed. How I went from that girl to who I am today. How I went from this teeter-tottering diamond at the beginning of this year because my whole business fell apart last year, which I'm going to get to advancing 7 diamonds in 1 year. Which to me is absolutely freaking mind-blowing. Like, that's mind-blowing. Like, how the hell did I do that? And I look back on it, and when I was asked by Meredith Kelly yesterday and Kathy today to speak on their team calls, I sat down and I had to really think about it. What did I do this year? God, first off, I have to thank him for giving me the personal growth to get to where I'm at right now, to be humble about this, to understand what I did. Because, guys, I don't look in the mirror and look at myself and I'm like, girl, you are a rock star. I don't look at myself like I'm anything special. I look at myself as Kelsey Smith. That's who I am. And it's funny whenever those top coaches tell you that stuff, because like whenever you start getting to this point where you're seeing a little bit of success, you don't view yourself that way. You just view yourself as doing everything else. So when people message me and they tell me like, hey, what you're doing is so crazy, I don't see it the way that they do. And that's weird to me. So basically what I've done, and I'll say it quickly, is I got my head out of my ass and I went for it. I did. I finally realized what I needed to do. So I want to start off by what I didn't do last year. I did, and this is something that takes a lot of personal development to admit. I was a very selfish coach in 2015. I brought on people for my own reasons. Like I would be like, Jessie is the girl that's going to get me to 1 star. If I bring Carrie on, I put her over here, I can probably get to 2 star, so that way I can get to the new leader conference. So what I was doing is I was recruiting based off of what I wanted for myself and not based off of what my coaches were wanting for themselves. I was like, diamonds next, emeralds next, hit Success Club 10, without being a leader first and really understanding who they were and what they wanted. And again, that takes a lot of personal development to admit that, because that was why I failed. I went to 1 star last year and I brought in all these people, and you guys might not believe this, but like the team right now that is 5-star qualifying, they're all 2016 coaches. They are not from I don't have anybody from before this year because I lost them all because I attracted the wrong people because of myself. I wasn't being true to myself. I had my own intentions in mind, and I will tell you why I did this. I'll tell you why I had this going on in my head. It's because I fell into a really bad comparison trap. I watched coaches that started after me, before me, around my time, fly past me in the business. And I will tell you what, my coach and I, who is my best friend in the entire world, she and I butt heads the entire year because I was so mad at myself for why I had no idea why she was succeeding and I was not. And you want to know why she was succeeding? Because she wasn't freaking comparing herself to anybody else. She's a damn good coach and she was doing what she needed to do. And meanwhile, I'm over here trying to play catch up and not running my own race and not trying to do things my way. I'm not Natalie Bailey. I never will be Natalie Bailey. She might be my upline, but I'm not her. I'm Kelsey. And that's why I was so stagnant. So I bring on all these coaches. I'm in 2015 October at a 1-star diamond. I'm pushing for 2 because I want to get to the new leader conference. Again, me. And then by the time we're getting toward the end of 2015, Natalie's in 5-star qualification, and I get a notification that girl that was my diamond coach is about to lose emerald. And she was the only one over there, and I was about to drop the entire organization at a 5-star elite qualification. Me. And I had a huge wake-up call that day when I got on the phone with Natalie crying, saying, I screwed up. This is my fault. What can I do? And I had to go into that girl's account and order something to keep her active until we could finish out that qualification. Me. I almost lost elite for my coach because I was selfish. So when I say I came into 2016 as a very teeter-tottering diamond, the coach on my left was in the process of quitting. The person that was holding me up on my right was my freaking spouse account. And then the other coach was a standstill the entire year, so she wasn't moving. That was it. Nothing. And I promised myself that I would never do that again. I would never let myself fall into this trap of comparison because I'm not coaches. I'm not Kathy. I'm not Meredith. I'm not Liz Herkey. I'm not those people. I'm Kelsey, and I'm going to do things differently, guys. And you guys are you. You're going to do things differently. So don't look at the little box to your right and left and be like, well, she's a diamond and I'm not, because you are killing yourself. And I killed myself for an entire year off this. I wasted an entire year. I had no freaking clue why I wanted to be elite. I wanted to be elite because I wanted to be recognized. That shit meant nothing to me this year. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that. Number one thing that I did this year is I found myself again. I did a lot of personal development, guys. I had to learn who I was. Who was Kelsey? I had to separate myself from all those other coaches out there and to figure out who I was this year. And I did that. I dove into a lot of personal development. I really focused on things like gratitude and love. And I really focused on my religion this year and really trying to discover who I was again, and everything changed because my posts started changing. The people I was bringing in started changing. I led and I brought people in with my heart instead of with my intentions. That was the biggest thing. Personal development is huge. Do not go out and buy the magic because I say this is one of my favorite books. Do it because you need to. You know what I mean? If Kathy comes on and she's like, oh yeah, I'm reading Eat That Frog, it's great, and then all of you go out and buy Eat That Frog, but you're not dealing with time management, then what the hell? You're wasting your time. Read something that matters to you right now. And guys, if you're looking for a way to reconnect with yourself, these books are fantastic. They are for everyone, no matter where you are, no matter what you're dealing with. It's called The Magic, The Secret, and The Power. There's 3 of them, and they're by Rhonda Byrne. I started with The Secret. Everything changed after The Secret because I started really appreciating everything. She talks about the universe. I talk about God. I'm religious. That's how I do things. Ever since I started changing my mindset to this, everything has changed. That was number 1. Number 2, do you guys know what the vital process is? I hope you do. So I realized when Beachbody introduced this last month and Super Saturday, and they were like, the vital process, here's what it is. I was like, oh, they put a name to what I've been doing all year. That was so cool to me. That's what I do. So I want to share something with you guys. My 7 diamonds. I'm going to share a couple slides with you because I want you guys to see this. The vital process, for those of you that are unaware, bring people on, help people get results, then talk to them about coaching opportunity, help coaches succeed. So I want to share with you my 7 diamonds, okay? Can everybody see this? Thumbs up if you can. Cool. All right. Erica is diamond number 1. Let's just take a look at her transformation, okay? Joined me last December. Gets a great transformation, down 26 pounds now. But look at her message to me on December 28, 2015. I had full intentions of telling you today I was on board and our heat went out today. It's going to cost a little more than I had saved up now, so I better not spend any money. Hope to be able to do this before May. I'll be saving and keep you in mind. Thanks so much, and I'll keep your Facebook posts and motivation. So she denied me. She said no. I rebutted that with the coaching opportunity. 2 days later, as you guys can see on 12/30, she could not stop thinking about it after being on my opportunity call and took a leap forward. So she said no, right? That was first diamond. Diamond number 2, look at her transformation. She was me. She purchased the 21-day fix on her own and could not be so more excited. Got assigned a random coach, but was wondering if she could switch coaches to me. And I said yes. And she is now a diamond coach on my team. And that's a hell of a transformation. She is down 48 pounds. Diamond number 3. I introduced this business opportunity to her for the first time in May. She was scared of failing miserably, and then always thinks, well, what if I start to be a coach and then lose my interest? Her transformation to the left went through her first round of T25. She is now down, I think she lost 13 pounds just with T25, but she is doing quarter force right now. She officially started coaching on September 2nd. She fast-tracked to diamond in 56 days. Alicia, another transformation. Check that one out. So she gave me, as you guys can see, I have a wedding coming up. And I got to say, yeah, so do I. And then we went back and forth for a while, and she eventually signed up. So again, objection. Number 5 is my spouse account. So you guys just saw Erica and Alicia, but here's the other 2 that are emeralds in that account. Look at those transformations, right? Diamond number 6, Action. Transformation. Was not enrolled by me. Her sponsor quit about a month after she started, and I took her underneath of my wing, and I helped her lose 46 pounds, and she is now a diamond coach on my team. And last but not least, my second business center. And here's the 2 emeralds that are holding that up. Check out those transformations. So do you guys see what I'm saying here? We bring people on. We help them get results so they can't help but believe in what we do and what we have to offer. And then we turn them into coaches. So every single one of my diamonds told me no. Every single one of them, which is really funny. So that was my number 2. Number 3 was my back against the wall mentality. This was January 8th, Zach, I left my full-time job. Zach brings me out to dinner. He gets me a glass of wine and he says, I'm so proud of you, but I need to have a serious talk with you. He says, by March 8th, 2 months from that day, if you're not pulling in money with this, you're going to need to get a job. I had 2 months. And not many people know that side because I don't talk about it that much. But we were standing on the Beachbody cruise, getting ready to get off the ship. And I checked my paycheck, and my 2-week paycheck, the one before that, and that next week totaled my income from my previous job, my paycheck, my biweekly income. And he was like, I'm proud of you. You did it. A month after that, I passed it. And at this point of the year, I am at the point where I have surpassed my corporate salary. How did I do that? Am I anything special? No. My back was against the wall. So what did I do? When your back is against the wall, you will do anything and everything. I'm not the kind of girl, and never been the kind of girl that does 3 friend requests a day, 3 messages a day, 3 invites a day. And like, that's okay if that's what you're doing. But when you're trying to make an income, when you're trying to grow this thing fast, you have to duplicate your efforts and you have to do it very fast. So I was doing 20 messages a day, 20 invites a day, adding 20 to 30 people into my network, doing everything I possibly could to increase my numbers, not hitting Success Club 10, but trying to hit between 20 to 30 every single month. And I did that all year long. Like today, I'm already at Success Club. And it's 9 o'clock on the first day of the month. Because I get my head down and I get started. I'm going to talk about that again too in a second. But you just when you want something bad enough, and that's why I said at the beginning of when I started talking, like, you go into this month like it's hard. It's going to be hard. But I came into December today saying, I'm in an elite qualification. I can't be stressing about Success Club right now. I need to get it done. You know what I mean? So like, that's what my head was at. So what I do, I got online. I didn't schedule calls with my team all day, and they're respectful of that. They know not to schedule calls with me until I'm in Success Club. Again, getting them to respect your time. I got to work today and I got it done. So that was how it goes. But like, when you want something bad enough, you have to have that back against the wall mentality. Because how many of you, and be honest, raise your hand, how many of you guys have asked yourself this question? What if this doesn't work? What if it does work? Like, what if it does? Think about the one thing that you want right now that you would run into a burning building for. Your why, right? What is that one thing? What if you achieved that? How would you feel? Would it bring you to tears? Because guys, when you want something that bad, you will run like hell to make it happen. You will do whatever you have to do. And all of a sudden, inviting is not scary anymore. Sending messages aren't scary anymore. And guys, before this year, inviting was scary to me. Sending those messages were scary. Posting on social media was scary. But this year, what was scarier was going back to that job. And I would never I will never walk into another corporate office again in my life, ever. Because I made a promise to myself. And in August, I had a mental breakdown. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go back to corporate because I was having a terrible month. And Zach's like, no, you're not. And like, it just sets your mind straight. So that was my number 4, was doubling my efforts, making sacrifices. So I did cut out a lot of TV time. Like, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. I know Kathy is the key of this. She stays up super late because she has kids, and you have to make sacrifices. Like, what's more important? Like, your why or watching The Bachelorette? You know, you kind of have to figure it out. And like, shit, man, I like The Bachelorette. I'm going to record that shit and I'm going to watch it later. But you got to do what you got to do, right? You just got to get stuff done. You're going to have to make sacrifices. And Zach and I made an agreement going into this that he knew that this year was going to be tough. He knew we were not going to be very present in each other. We're around each other, but I'm constantly working, right? Because I need to build this business. But at the end, like even 2 days ago, he said, or last week when we started elite qualifying, he goes, isn't it crazy? I'm like, hearing this come from your husband is something really special. He goes, isn't it crazy how you told me 1 year ago that you were going to do this? And like you were doing it. And now we can finally like get back to enjoying our lives. So you're not constantly like at all times every day, like frantic coach, right? And that's the thing is like, that's what coaches do is they're frantic. But a CEO gets their head down and they start figuring it out. Be the CEO of your business instead of a coach. Know what you're working for. And last but not least, the last thing I did before I open it up for questions if anyone needs it, is I finally got my head out of my ass with my team. Their goals came first and I led without intention. So I know every single thing about every single coach on my team. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm pulling this up really quick, what I'm talking about and how much I know. This is so important, and it starts from the very, very first get started right call. Like I think that like having this relationship with them and knowing what they're working for is so cool. And honestly, when it came to like a 5-star qualification, when it came to elite, it was so not stressful because we have the kind of relationship where they want to really push all together because we have this great family on our team. So this is one of my coaches. Her name is Stephanie, as you guys saw. From the moment we start our conversations, I know this is from our Get Started Right call. I know why she started. I know what's unique about her. I know what she's motivated by. I know why she related to me and picked me as her coach instead of everybody else out there. I know what her vision is for her future. I know what her why was. I know what her top 10 goals were for at that time. I know how I could hold her accountable. I know what her strengths are. I know what her weaknesses are. And then from there, we do a mentoring system on our team where they have to apply. It's basically one-on-one calls, just to dumb that down. But like, I am not the kind of coach that ever forces my team to schedule calls with me. They should want to. And the coaches that do are flying in this business. So what we do is every single week, they'll schedule a call with me. I take notes during our call, and then we'll set goals for the next week. And then the next week comes, we talk on the call, I take notes. She had an income goal, so I'm keeping track of her income, right? So I know where she's at. She wanted to make $200 that month. She made $241. Next month's goals, same thing. She sets goals for the week. I take notes during our call. Then she sets goals again, take notes during the call. And this is every single week. And I always know where she's at. And then before I know it, she's a diamond. Because for her, diamond wasn't a shiny recognition for her. She told me she needed to be making $1,500 to $2,000 a month. That was her why. And I said, you got to get to diamond. And she got to diamond, not because I wanted her to get to diamond, but toward the end, when she realized that she was part of the 5 diamonds making our team elite, she was like, holy shit. She was so excited. But none of them ever knew this entire year that that's what I was working for. Because for the first time in my life, I actually gave a shit about somebody else. And I've helped coaches this year. What's coolest to me is I've helped coaches this year lose between 10 to 76 pounds. I've helped coaches quit part-time jobs. I've helped coaches pay off credit cards, pay off their cars. I've helped coaches achieve these ranks that they want to achieve. And that's why we're 5-star qualifying. Not because like we did something really special, but because we have a team atmosphere that I know you guys have, where we love each other and we support each other. And guys, we cheer each other on. There is no jealousy in my page. There is no competition in my page. There are a bunch of, I literally was talking to myself in my team page for 2 years, and now I can't get them to shut up. They are posting in there all the time, commenting on each other's stuff. Like, I get notifications for that team page all day long. And it is so cool to me. I never envisioned myself to like be where I'm sitting right now. And it's honestly like the secret sauce, the secret ingredient is caring about people. They come first. Don't ever forget that your goals are so important. Like, I'm sitting here every single day and I'm staring at my goals, right? I know what I want. But am I going to put that pressure on somebody else to get what I want? The best advice I ever received, I think it was from Keith Callahan, I think it was Elizabeth Herkey actually. She said, if you can help enough people reach their goals, you will just naturally hit yours. And that is what happened to me this year. So 2017 is going to be an insane year because all of these girls are trying to duplicate what I'm doing or what I did this year. And they're doing it the right way. And I started something, and I can honestly say that I'm leaving this year because so happy because I started this to be at the point where we actually are a team where we give a shit about other people and we're bringing people on for the right reasons and we're spreading this message forward. And I've created a team of dreamers that are so excited about what's next. Like, it's not going to be me that's a 5-star diamond elite coach next year. It's the fact that they're going to be walking across stage with me because they're going to have elite teams, and then their coaches are going to be with us. And there was 3 of us at Summit last year, and there's like over 27 of them enrolled for next year. Like, what the hell happened? I cared about people. That's where it starts. So that's what I got for you. I hope that was what you were wanting, Kathy.
That was awesome, Kelsey. That was seriously so amazing. I know. Wow. Right, guys? Wasn't that such a great call? So I had to have her on here. She's amazing. Do you guys have any specific questions for her about anything that she touched on? Anything at all? As you can see, she will not candy coat. She will tell you what you want to hear, which is what I love. But I took so many notes too, Kelsey. And what I loved so much is when you talked about, because I feel like sometimes this is like the missing piece to it, is realizing that you are your own CEO. Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of just acting, like you said, like just a coach, waiting around like as if somebody's going to tell you what to do, just taking that ownership, right? And being that CEO right from the beginning. And keeping your head down. I love how you said that, like, just keep your head down and never compare, and play the comparison game and do you. And I kind of always had a hard time, like myself, understanding like how people compared themselves to others and why they did it, because it was something I honestly never had time to do when I first became a coach, because like you said yourself, with your back up against the wall, my back was up against the wall too. And all I knew was what I was learning in my coach basics and what Keith Callahan was telling me and what Elizabeth Harkey was telling me. And I just did it. You know what I mean? Like, the kids would go to bed, and just like you said, you put your head down, put my head down, and I would work and do those things every single month. But it's true. I've seen so many coaches over the past 2.5 years. It's so unfortunate when they start to play that comparison game. It totally slows you down. And really, the only way you're going to succeed in this is if you be you. The only way to really do amazing things with this business is if you don't look at other people and you're you. I could compare myself to Bonnie Engel. She started right around the same time as me, number 2 coach in the company. I don't care. I don't compare myself to her. We're in 2 totally different places. I'm doing me, she's doing her. It's just the way it is, right? You do you all the time. And I like how you were talking about people just going for their own personal goals. And so, for example, same thing with you, how you're in this push for elite with your team. Same thing with our team too, right? I had about 20 people, right, who could have taken part in the push to elite. The ones who said that it was their goal to hit this, to become diamond coaches, whether it was to regain or to become new diamond coaches and grow beyond because they wanted to build a business, those are the ones standing here fighting until the end, right? You never should pull people along, because it doesn't work like that. You have to be walking beside somebody, running beside them if that's what they want. And just, if it's not their goal, you got to just leave it alone. And you got to work with the ones who want that to be their goal. I'm trying to see here. I took so many notes. It was just so good. I wrote down the names of those books, so thank you for that.
You're great.
This is what I said too. I really loved how you did the pictures of your coaches and all that stuff. You're so good at the whole thing. Maybe I could have Nick do that for me. I have total old school style, like teacher style file folders with my coaches and everything in the file folders. But I really like that. And guys, if you noticed, every single one of those coaches building businesses, doing amazing things on her team, all got results. They all committed and they got results. So it has to start there. All right, I'll let you. I think there's a question down here. How much time do you spend on each of your weekly one-on-one coach calls?
Yeah, she asked 2 questions, so I'll start. Oh, I see one. Okay, we'll start at the top. So how do you recognize coaches on your team page, Success Club leaderboards? Okay, I am the recognition queen. They get shouted out for everything. They get shouted out for taking a poop on the toilet. Like, that's how I feel about them. Like, they deserve to be recognized for everything. So we actually, one thing that's really big in our team page is we have a bell. So every time that one of them gets a Success Club point, they'll ding the bell. And they shout out the person's name of the person they helped. And everybody comments underneath of it and likes it, and they congratulate them for helping somebody change their life. The bell is fantastic. Another way, yes, we do Success Club leaderboards every single week. I do on my page, if you guys ever go to my page on Thursdays, I do a Life Changers Club. So I shout out my coaches for how many people they helped up to that point that month. Recognition, like, she put up a great post today. Let's shout her out. Everybody go to her page and like it. Rank advancements, obviously. I have my coaches, I pick a coach a week that is featured. I do Feature Leader Friday, where I pick one out for something they did or something they said, and I like do a fun little graphic on Fridays. I also go through and have one of them go live on our team page on Tuesdays so that they don't have to hear from me all the time. And then they can kind of give each other tips. So any way that I can recognize them, I will do that. Whether that be, and like I said, I shout them out for everything. So like, it's a hard question because I literally will, like I said, if they take a poop, I'm like, way to go. Like, my team actually talks about energized poops in my page. It's getting too far, but we're trying to fix that. That's how comfortable they are with each other. But shout people out for everything. I think that's what they needed a vital behavior because it's so important. And honestly, that's what my team thrives on. Could you briefly go over what it is you ask your new coaches to help them on your Get Started Right call? The Get Started Right, I am very, very, like, it's not structured at all. It's me getting to know them. I don't like to go on a call and be like, here's what this is, because they're overwhelmed and they don't want anything to do with that. So my first call with my coaches is like, I think my welcome email for them is like, here's how to sign people up, here's what the national wake up call is, and here's how to schedule a call with me. That's literally what it is. And then when they schedule their call, we basically get on and we do go over those things, why they're here, what motivates them. So like, I'm like, are you motivated by income and stuff like that? That way I know how to set goals with them. I ask them what's unique about them and what their life is like. I'm like, what do you do for fun? Like, what do you and your families do? And different things like that. I ask them what their goals are. Like, if this was to give them the life of their dreams, what it would look like. I ask them what program they're doing, what program they're interested in doing, what kind of results they've gotten so far. That's important. I need to know that stuff. But different things like that. But basically what I'm doing on the Get Call is I'm helping them craft their coming out posts. Everything that they need to know. I asked them who they were before Beachbody, who they are now that Beachbody is in their lives. Different things like that, because basically at the end of the call, I'm taking notes, as you guys saw, for the entire call. And I send it to them at the end of the call so that they can write their coming out post. How much time do you spend on each of your weekly one-on-one calls? 15 minutes. They get 15 minutes with me. So they apply for this mentoring program. They choose weekly or bi-weekly calls. And then from that, they'll go, I do my calls through a Acuity scheduler. So they go on and they have to answer like 4 questions every week before they even get on a call with me, which is, what were your wins of the week? How many Success Club points do you have? What program are you doing, and how many workouts have you done this week? Because that just tells me right there why they're off, if they're off, and what they're hoping to accomplish on the call. That way I know that stuff before they even get on the call, and they know at this point that they are not going to get on a 15-minute call with me and start bitching. Because they know they only have very limited time with me. So it's a 15-minute call. My leaders probably 30 minutes because we have to mastermind a little bit longer. But it's basically like we get on and I'm like, okay, what are some good things that happened to you this week? And then they'll tell me all the good things. And I'm like, what do you need my help with? They tell me. We go over the goals we set from the previous week, and then we set new goals. If they miss those goals, I ask them why. We figure out how to fix them, and then we move forward.
Love it. Anybody else, guys? Any other questions? While we have this rock star
Yeah, you guys can ask anything. I'm pretty open.
Yeah, as you can see. We like that. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited for your team, Kelsey. It's been amazing to watch your team's growth over the past year. Crazy.
Same.
Really exciting.
It's exciting. I'm pumped.
I know. You should be
starting
so.
to get all their like little gifts together, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so exciting.
I know, exactly. I know. Getting everything ready, it's like, come on, we got this.
Yeah, 4 more weeks. Cross your fingers for us, guys. We need it.
Yeah, it'll happen. I know it will. All right. Well, Kelsey, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. You were amazing. It was an incredible, incredible call. I know that the team, they needed to hear this and got so much out of it. And I just can't thank you enough. I love listening to you talk. Motivating, just so driven, and just, I like that. You know, you say you want to do something and just get it done. Love that about you.
Gotta do it.
All right, guys. Well, take advantage. If you ever have any questions for her, feel free to send her a message. She's super friendly. She'll get back to you when she can. And thanks everyone for being here. Hope you have a great night. And thanks again, Kelsey.
Of course. Bye.
Bye, guys.